Crystal Faulkner with the CPA and business advisory firm of Cooney, Faulkner and Stevens. We're here today with Tony Maas. Tony's the president and CEO of JTM Food Group, which started as a family business back in the 1960s and has grown to be a household name. And Tony, I know you and your brothers and your father started JTM back in the 60s. It's the second generation, and you've got your kids involved in the business, the third generation. But as a family business, how do you continue to be innovative and continue your sustained growth?
Yeah, thank you. Actually, JTM started in 1980. In the 60s and 70s, we had a family butcher shop,
Okay.
so we started JTM, and we really didn't have a clue what the heck we were doing, besides that we knew that all of us weren't going to make a living out of a back room of a butcher shop. So we started our business and grew into selling restaurants and selling retail in the 80s, and then we were able to grow forward into the 90s into the school business and military business and national restaurant business. It is quite incredible to grow from zero to $100 million last year in sales. Is quite incredible, and to try to think that we are, all the work and all the passion of family business, to be able to have that and keep that going is quite a challenge.
It is a challenge, and
Yeah.
you're right. I would have thought, because JTM is just so broad,
Yeah.
having only been around officially since the 80s is
Yeah.
remarkable. You mentioned the school business, because I do think that's a big issue right now. Healthy choices, nutrition, certainly that's something that I think many people are
Yeah.
facing. You are in the schools now with
Yeah.
healthy choices.
Right. Yeah, that's been, when we started in the 90s, we were the first company that came out with all the low-fat items in that, and recognizing that kids aren't eating chuck roast and pork chops anymore. They really have grown up on fast food in the society that we live in. We really developed a long line of products in chili and taco meat and spaghetti sauces and macaroni and cheeses right out of the gate, low-fat, that really gave us a point of difference.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And that's going pretty well for you?
Oh, it's awesome. It is really the mainstay of our business. It's 60% of our business now. We sell every state in America, every school system in America, so it's awesome.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Quickly, I know that your family just is a huge pillar in terms of community involvement, community service. Let's talk about why giving back is such an important part of your overall mission for JTM.
Yeah, we're so blessed. I mean, that's the bottom line. Is we're looking at today's society and seeing so many families that do struggle, don't have the same opportunities. I'm so blessed to have the grandparents I've had and the parents I had, and they instilled in me faith foremost of everything, but hard work and all the things that come along with that. So with that is just really a generous heart that we have always had. So we've got to continue repaying that debt.
Well, Tony Maas with JTM Food Group, thank you so much for being my guest and for everything that you do in our community.
My pleasure.
We'll continue our conversation with Tony Maas on WCPO.com. Tony, we talked about the different products that JTM has, many of which people would perceive to be a commodity. You mentioned chili, you mentioned hamburgers. How do you stay competitive when you have so many different competitors out there, and how do you distinguish yourself?
Sure. Many people just right here in Cincinnati would think JTM hamburgers, barbecue, things like that. The reality is we've got 600 items, and total line of kettle cooked products is really the forte of it. So we make probably 20 different chilies. We probably make 20 different barbecues, 20 different chilies, all these different items that every different segment in the country has different flavors and taste. But more than that, we're always being innovative of bringing new ideas, because we've got a big culinary staff, culinary chefs, and so we're constantly are moving forward on developing point of difference items.
So that's interesting. So you actually have a culinary group within the company that helps you come up with these brand new ideas and concepts?
Yeah, we're constantly looking on what's going on in an industry and trying to bring better ideas forward to restaurateurs or to school cafeterias or to delis. We're constantly developing new items that can help give them all a point of difference.
The whole concept of innovation these days just is such a buzzword, and I think so many companies are really trying to figure out how to restart themselves.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for people out there who have had a company for a while but would really like to figure out, how can I take it to the next level?
Yeah, it's got to be constantly changing and evolving. When I look back at JTM, we are completely a different company every 10 years. Everything we do is completely different. So you've got to have a very progressive attitude going forward, that you're going to invest in this company. You've got to surround yourself with good people, and you got to go for it.
Well, I was going to ask you about your advisors. Do you have mentors yourself? Or I know you have your father in the business and your brothers, but
Yeah.
do you have outside mentors as well?
We do. We got a family advisory board, so we lean on them for a lot of help. I've been very blessed to with my people, my accountant and my lawyer, and all those people have always been very good to us.
Well, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, Tony Maas, thank you so much for being my guest.
You got it, Crystal. Thank you for having me.